April does have just really good normals, a really good combo game. A little more easy to understand where, like you were mentioning, Danny has a lot more freeform combos. So we'll have to see what happens in game number one. We're going to Sweet Dreams. And Saiki already getting us off with that fair. That fair is so devastatingly strong.
Yes, that fair is ridiculously good. It's one of those moves you can kind of just throw out and just basically do whatever you want off of it. I love the leg down coming out here at the ledge from Saiki, trying to catch those recoveries from ThundeRzReiGN. And now we see ThundeRzReiGN just playing a little bit neutral here, trying to play this safe, setting up the camera, trying to let Saiki go in, see if they can force some sort of bait, and then look for a punish off of it. That is kind of how you want to play April. April's a very opportunistic character at times, where if you can just get your opponent to come in and then you can get a good punish off of it, that will usually result in good damage.
And that's just Thunder's playstyle in general. I mean, we saw in the DK very bait and punish. We saw with Leonardo very bait and punish. So earlier I was mentioning April. I didn't fully understand until really just mentioning it that April is a very opportunistic character where she does get a lot off of those bait and punishes. And we're going to see the boom might come out there. Did not push back a whole lot. Looks like Saiki did not have quite a perfect shield. He did decent enough. Is going to find that stock though at 83%. Danny, one of the lighter characters in the game, so if Thunder finds a good straight hit, should be able to clean this up pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, definitely here. But we see Saiki trying to apply a lot of pressure. I love the light down to catch any of the rolls off of ledge, or basically any get-up options that ThundeRz is looking for here. But Saiki playing with a lot of momentum. I love the use of the projectiles as well. Try to cover off of those platforms and make it really difficult for ThundeRz to land. But there's the strong up air coming out from ThundeRz, able to close up that stock.
And I like ThundeRz. He went for the strong up, but it realized it wasn't going to kill. Was able to follow up with the strong up here. Was able to get that stock. Now we're at a relatively even game. We have Saiki having the percent lead right now. Danny, again, can do a lot with these percent leads, but the combo game for him, ThundeRz is a little outside of that combo range. However, Saiki, we got to look at it now. He's sitting at full meter right now.
Oh yeah, full meter definitely good for Danny. That can get some really good extensions, or possibly even a super. Even though supers are one of the slower moves in the game, sometimes you just don't expect it in the regular flow of a match. So could be a little bit trippy going on later. But we'll see what Saiki is able to do with this full meter.
I think the only character I see use a slide strong is El Tigre with their snare.
Oh yeah,
They could get super early kills, like at 40 or something crazy like that. But now Saiki sitting at a pretty comfortable stock lead. I think just ThundeRz is really overwhelmed with the movement that Saiki has. Saiki has one of the best movements, or some of the best movement in the entire game. Troko as well has great movement, but Saiki just moves like he's just totally comfortable in every stage. I fought his Danny a while ago, and he moves like the best of them on every stage. There's not a stage that he has lackluster movement.
yeah, and it seems as though Saiki is still trying to find ways to slip around ThundeRzReiGN. ThundeRzReiGN having difficulty trying to figure out how to just close out this stock in general, trying to find ways to possibly poke or get Saiki off stage, but Saiki playing really relentless, and I love the usage of the platforms there. Poking on the platform, didn't find what they wanted, Saiki able to just teleport out, reset it to neutral.
And we can see ThundeRz playing the patient game, just knowing that they are at a meter deficit, knowing that their normals are just not as strong as Danny. And that's just ThundeRz for you. I mean, those are the fundamentals that carry over for PM, just knowing when you're at a disadvantage, knowing when you have to just play the safe game, and also really mixing up their approaches on the ground just so they just don't land predictably. But Saiki is just doing such a good job of commanding the space, and we're seeing these dares come out and these kind of Hail Mary boom mics, which boom mic is a very safe move, but you can tell that ThundeRz just seems a little lost right now.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I'm noticing for Saiki also just punishing a lot of things out of shield. We see Saiki sometimes just running up at ThundeRz, just holding shield, waiting for ThundeRz to hit shield, because there are a lot of moves, unfortunately, with April that have a decent amount of end lag. He can just kind of sit in shield and look for the punish. Saiki trying to get back to the stage here, hanging on to this 140%, make that 150. Still alive somehow. Unfortunately, not able to get the back of the stage there with teleport, but hey, looks like it could be an easy cleanup stock for Saiki, with ThundeRz sitting at 154.
And we saw Saiki, unfortunately, burn the meter there just to extend that stock a little bit more. Unfortunately, though, we saw him get caught under the stage, not able to make it back. So, unfortunate use of the meter, but again, not that big of a deal when you have such a huge lead going into this final stock. And that projectile, too, we've seen Saiki throw it out, and we're getting these shines coming out. That projectile really goes a long way. it also just put Thunders or anybody who fights really in a really precarious position where you have to move, and that allows Saiki just to be able to get 100 save reads, which he gets them pretty consistently.
Yeah, there's some speaking consistently. There's some really good damage coming in there for ThundeRzRei with the full ratings. Not able to get the knockback that they need right there. But it looks like, oh wow, very good knockoff off stage right there from Saiki. And then Saiki able to get that KO really quick, clean it up off of the aerial.
Saiki just looked like in complete control in that game. It really did feel like Thunders was at a bit of a loss going into the last couple of stocks. They're just not really finding an easy way to approach, and not finding it easy to defend himself. I mean, you mentioned it, like he would just run up and shield, and Thunders didn't really have much of an option to get out of that situation, where Saiki knew if Thunders threw an option out, there would be a decent amount of end, like he could just constantly whiff punish off him.
Yeah, and with Dandy having such quick normals and quick aerials like the light forward air, being able to just throw that out basically at a whim, on a whim, it makes it very simple for you to just have a really good out of shield game. And if your opponent is hitting your shield and not spacing their moves correctly, or if those moves have a ton of end lag, you just wait for your opponent to hit your shield, and then you just do something out of it. And in many of those situations, it was just a light forward air. It's like he was just able to either throw out a projectile or continue that into some sort of edge guard, which generally worked in Saiki's favor.
But Thunders, you can't count him. You can't count him out. Someone who adapts very effectively. Someone who we've seen come back from worse. So we're going into game number 2. I'll be interested to see what stage choice Thunders goes with. It looks like we're going to be going to Miracle City Volcano. A lot more room to maneuver if for Thunders. However, that just means more room for Saiki to be able to maneuver, as well as, let's not forget, those slime cans, or not the slime cans, the up B shine. So devastating.
Yes, for sure. Definitely devastating. You can use it a lot off of those platforms here as well, but it looks like Thunder is getting some really good combos off of here, off of the up throw, trying to get that up air going. We also see the very good usage of the camera from Thunder, trying to use that camera to kind of just separate the stage, make it difficult for Saiki to move around. But there is the strong forward air able to connect onto Saiki. Thunder is having a good lead. Looks like this might be a little bit of a turnaround from the previous game.
That's the Thunders I've been waiting to see since game 1, and that's the one I'm used to seeing pretty consistently. However, Saiki, you can't count him out. He is going to not clean up that stock, but does get very, very close to it. But now Thunders is just going to hold center stage. Saiki in a position where he has to approach Thunders. But that's what Saiki wants. We're now at a dead even game. But one thing we haven't talked about a lot now is the meter that April has, the ratings. Ratings is still pretty similar in this game. It is still devastatingly strong. If you slime cancel into it, we saw some pretty insane kills when Thunders was fighting Apache. But it is also devastating to lose too, because it is just such a huge kill move. And oh my god, it doesn't matter if it's a kill move when Saiki just carries you off to the side of the stage.
Yeah, Saiki getting a really good edge guard there, able to catch the jump from ThundeRzRei. In April, one of those characters having a pretty predictable recovery for the most part. You know she's usually going to try to go high, kind of seems like a snake in Smash Ultimate, wanting to go high into the air, possibly land downwards there. And Saiki able to catch the jump and get this good edge guard. But here we go again. Saiki going for that neutral air in the light down, catching the jump right there from Thunder. Thunder's using the down special. I love that. The usage of the down special, trying to escape that ledge. Working as almost an extra jump in some situations. Uh-oh, but here comes the beam. Saiki trying to hold ThundeRzRei here at this ledge wall, though.
We can see Saiki at 3 bars. Thunders at 2. We might see the meter come out if Thunders gets knocked into an unfavorable position. I mean, he's kind of in a position where he has to use it. I mean, you're down to your second to last stock. You want every bit of help you can get, and even though you're at 140 and you might not last too much longer, you still kind of have to use it. It's use it or lose it in a situation like this.
Yes, definitely use it or lose it. It feels as though there needs to be some way for Thunders to close out this stock, as you were saying. There has to be some way for them to close stock. Maybe slime cancel, having to use their slime in some sort of way, but of course Saiki cleaning it up, and now it's 3 stocks to 1. This is definitely comeback, do or die, because Thunders, you do not want to face off against the people in losers bracket right now.
Oh, dude, it is a shark tank down there. And Saiki right now, though, This man smells blood. He's coming. Someone's playing the Jaws theme in the background. He smells blood. He wants it. He doesn't care who it is. He wants to take this to top 8. He's mentioned time and time again that he's wanted to win, but he just gets a little nervous when he gets into top 8. We're going to see the meter come out. It's not going to be enough, though. He is going to finally find the stock. ThundeRz has a lot of work to do if he wants to find his way back into this game.
Yeah, good thing is that ThundeRzReiGN was able to get Saiki to expend a little bit of that slime meter. Only sitting at 1 bar right now, but Saiki can still do a lot with this. I love the usage of the camera right there from ThundeRzReiGN, kind of just batting that thing around, seeing if they can get those ratings, that extra damage that's needed to be able to get those combos going, or to be able to just create space. Look at the up airs there, just trying to make it difficult for Saiki. Saiki on that top platform, sitting there in shield, stuck because of those up airs, just keeps it a little bit more difficult for Saiki to land and get their footing back on the standard stage.
You can also see ThundeRzReiGN sitting at 3 bars of meter, Saiki only at 1 full bar of meter, but that'll be changing very soon. 2 bars, so it doesn't, this is kind of the position we're talking about. It really doesn't matter at this point in the stage, or it does really matter when the meter deficit is there, because again, even if ThundeRzReiGN gets a really good hit, Saiki will just use meter, but it looks like he expended some of it actually. I'm not sure on what, but that makes his survivability a lot. It reduces his survivability a lot less.
Very good forward throw there from Saiki, trying to launch ThundeRzReiGN off stage here. Light down coming out into the strong neutral, and that is what is needed. Saiki able to take it over ThundeRzReiGN 2-0. Clean and crisp edge guards there from Saiki, really showing how it is done to edge guard and ledge trap with Danny Phantom.
And we can see ThundeRzReiGN kind of scratching his head like on his stream, just like I don't know what to do there, bro. I don't have his stream audio on, but I can imagine him saying something like that. Him and Saiki have played in the past. They have talked. You know, nothing but respect between those two players. Saiki had a lights out performance in that set. Really good stuff to them. Is going to be moving on into top